Can hard work and self-reliance overcome inherited wealth? I let two types of people develop on this partitioned land for 150 years and then let them go to war. On one side are the nepobabies, born with massive wealth. On the other side are the workers, who master skills and build their lives with their own hands. Who will ultimately defeat the other? On the left is the nepobabies territory. You can see gold left by their parents everywhere. The nepobabies are just like their parents, deceitful and greedy, traits their children will also inherit. Their banners are the color of gold. On the right is the workers' territory. Long hours of labor have given the workers strong bodies, just like the workers we see in real life, and most of them are very honest. The only thing that gives them a chance to defeat the nepobabies is their mastered skills, fast building. Honestly, I don't think the workers can beat the nepobabies. After all, the nepobabies control most of the resources. Let's begin. Time starts flowing. After a brief moment of shock, the workers immediately started the tasks at hand. They began chopping trees and mining stone. They quickly built their first batch of houses around a campfire. Their skills make them exceptionally handy at building. As for the nepobabies, they also built their first batch of houses, which surprised me a lot. But I guess they probably asked their daddies for these houses. Year 12, the workers have already started expanding their territory. They built more houses, and now they have a population of 46, already twice that of the nepobabies. Looking at the nepobabies, they expanded their territory significantly, but they haven't built any new houses at all. They even built a mine in the north of the city to extract more gold. You can see that although their territory is much larger than the workers, they still only have those same few houses from before. It seems without their daddy's help, the nepobabies don't know how to build houses themselves at all. Year 15, the workers have more houses. They also started forging weapons to protect themselves. They already have steel weapons. Year 20, the nepobabies still haven't built more houses. They blindly upgrade their existing houses to make them bigger and better. They would rather have everyone crammed into one house just to live in a mansion. After all, this reflects their upper class status. By year 30, a pack of wolves attacked our workers. Facing the wolf attack, the workers' general stepped forward. He even learned the spell for the bubble shield and created one for himself. He defeated about 4 or 5 wolves single-handedly, and the wolves' attacks only hit his shield, causing him no damage. The nepobabies finally couldn't stand everyone living in those few mansions, so they started building more mansions. It seems that compared to personal living comfort, they still prefer luxurious decorations and exteriors. They even had the leisure to build another statue. Oh, more than one statue. Here's a crab statue too. Year 41, the nepobabies have gone further down the path of building statues. They are now even using their excess gold to build gold statues. The nepobabies' current king is 59-year-old Anlira. He has a gold tooth, a broken bone, and a pitiful warfare stat of 3. Year 45, the workers have also started building statues at this time. They made a dragon statue, which perhaps symbolizes strength to them. Yes, look, they immediately built a barracks next to the dragon. They want to use the spirit of the dragon to inspire the warriors to train hard. You can see the nepobabies' storage is piled high with gold instead of other resources. They just love wealth too much. Year 59, a few bears broke into the nepobabies' capital. The nepobabies' king, Anlira, was terrified, but he still personally participated in this war against the bears. He used his wooden bow to shoot arrows at the bears from a distance, but he values his life so much that he cast a bubble shield on himself even from so far away. And he only gave the shield to himself. He didn't even spare a glance for the warriors fighting the bears in close combat. Year 83, the workers started training their soldiers to the maximum. You can see their warriors thrusting at these target dummies in the barracks. Compared to the nepobabies' town, the workers' town seems more organized. You can see they are all arranged horizontally. I don't know what the benefit of this is, but the highly skilled workers definitely have their own reasons for doing so. Time reaches 100 years. The nepobabies' population is actually higher than the workers now. Well, this is understandable. After all, they control the resources and can have as many children as they want, while the workers have to consider money when having kids. The nepobabies now have a population of 1,018 and an army of 414, whereas the workers only have 818 people and an army of 262. In terms of military numbers, the workers are barely half of the nepobabies. Their development is too peaceful. I decided to give them a little challenge now, since a lack of crises only leads to destruction. On the nepobabies' side, a meteorite directly hit the center of their capital. In an instant, about 11 houses were destroyed, and the residents there were taken out by the meteorite. Other residents came up with buckets to put out the fire. I really underestimated their level of greed. They put out the fire just to mine the adamantine. Even before the fire was completely extinguished, the nepobabies swarmed in to grab the adamantine brought by the meteorite. They didn't even care that the adamantine was still hot. Look, this nepobaby got burned. Getting hit by the meteorite cost the nepobabies 200 people, but they are still massive and still have strong reproductive capabilities. On the workers' side, since they admire the power of the dragon so much and even built a dragon statue, I might as well give them a dragon. A dragon appeared in their capital. All the soldiers gathered towards the dragon, and many soldiers were shooting arrows from a distance. They don't cherish their lives like the nepobabies do. They just want to be the dragon slayer. The dragon breathed fire, but it didn't seem to hurt the worker soldiers. This dragon lasted less than 10 seconds against the workers. The flames after it fell burned some people, but soon other residents rushed here as well. They are different from the NEPOBABIES. They brought buckets solely to help their fellow citizens extinguish the dragon fire on their bodies. Faced with the same fire, the residents of the two nations displayed entirely different behaviors. Perhaps this is the gap between them. The NEPOBABIES' reconstruction was quite fast, maybe because they couldn't stand such ruined buildings in their line of sight. At the end of year 114, perhaps due to mutual dissatisfaction, the NEPOBABIES split into 3 kingdoms. You can see that they have now spent all the gold their parents left them. They naturally generated negative emotions toward each other, making the split inevitable. By year 116, the conflict between the two northern NEPOBABY kingdoms completely escalated. NEPOBABY II started sending troops to attack NEPOBABY III. NEPOBABY III was just a very small kingdom with only 36 population. NEPOBABY II's army invaded NEPOBABY III's territory. They were too small to have an army to resist. Only one soldier was fighting alone. He was the general of NEPOBABY III, holding a legendary weapon he forged himself, the wind's heartbeat. But he was just one person and couldn't fend off an entire army. Under the siege of NEPOBABY II, he was killed. Wait, there's a person wearing red clothes here. This is the worker's color. Why is he in the NEPOBABY's kingdom? He also possesses the deceitful and greedy traits that only the NEPOBABYs have. I get it. He betrayed the workers, smuggled himself over the high wall, and came to the NEPOBABY's territory. But it seems the NEPOBABYs didn't accept him either. Let's check on how the workers are developing. This is their current king. King Kudinoris is 58 years old, holding a stone hammer. This is a builder's tool, meaning that even in the position of king, he is still active on the front lines of national construction, like Che Guevara. Time has reached year 150. Let's review the strength of all kingdoms one more time. The NEPOBABIES have once again brought their population above 1,000. They now have 1,055 people, and the splintered NEPOBABY II has 477 people. The workers have 1,416 people. Their population base allowed them to experience a surge in growth. Now, we're going to erase the wall between them and let these kingdoms meet. Almost the instant the wall was erased, the workers' king discovered this kingdom filled with gold and coins. He was shocked by the luxury of the neighboring kingdom's buildings, shocked that they had so many resources, but only used them to build gold statues. Anger rushed to his head, and he almost immediately began plotting a war. The war plotting is complete. The workers decided to declare war on both NEPOBABY kingdoms simultaneously. They have waited too long for this day, and now they will use the tidal wave of this lifelong wait to wash away these two kingdoms of extravagance. The workers' army charged into the northern territory of NEPOBABY II and quickly captured it. They are now taking this path to enter the capital of NEPOBABY II directly. In the south, another worker force captured the NEPOBABY's town, but they didn't kill all the residents. They merely occupied the town and forced them to surrender. Vast swathes of southern land became worker territory. The workers entered the NEPOBABY's capital from the south. About 3 armies are currently stationed in the NEPOBABY's territory. Soon, the NEPOBABYs fell. The one that held out to the end was actually the first to split off. NEPOBABY II, the workers' army, had already surrounded the entirety of NEPOBABY II. They are now fighting a siege. At the final moment, NEPOBABY II pushed their selfishness to the extreme. They actually made a 94-year-old man serve as the general. You can see this old man is weak, frail, and even slow, but they still forced him to guard their money. Finally, in year 154, the workers completely conquered the NEPOBABIES. Relying on their hard-working hands and their own efforts, they defeated that innate wealth and resources. Meanwhile, the NEPOBABIES held massive resources, but only used them for pleasure. During their development stage, they fractured due to internal disputes, wasted their resources on civil wars, and ultimately lost to the workers. The workers didn't wipe out the NEPOBABIES entirely. You can see the population is actually cumulative. I think the workers now prefer to teach the NEPOBABIES how to rely on themselves to survive. Alright, that's it for today's video. If there's anything else you want to see, let me know in the comments.